Hey guys, and welcome to another episode of Behind the Closed Doors. And believe it or not, today the weather is beautiful. And today's workshop is all about light control based on the video, essential lighting techniques, which you can get at the link below. Today's model, Shayna, and it's gonna be a busy day, big group. So join us for a jam-packed episode of Behind the Closed Doors. And as always, if you like what we do, subscribe to our channel, leave comments below, and of course smash that like button, because we really liked it. Let's go!
Through the fire, I could conquer the night. If I can make it, if I try to draw the red light. I could run through the fire, I could conquer the night. If I can make it, if I try to draw the red.
Okay, before the workshop, something really important, and you should do this before every major gig or retouch session. Calibrate your monitor. And guys, really, this is really important. Make sure that you always calibrate that monitor if you have something important to do for retouching, because you want to make sure that your images not only look great on your set, but also on other setups. So make sure you calibrate your monitor. So how many times do we calibrate? We calibrate about once a week and before every important gig. And the thing is that calibration only takes about 10 minutes if you do it really thorough, and it really makes a difference. So make sure you calibrate it. I'm using the BenQ monitors, which have hardware calibration, so you can write in the LUT labels, tables, which are a little bit more smooth. And of course, we're using the X-Rite products as color analyzers at the moment. You can see it here. We have an X-Rite over here, and we also have the spectrometer version, which is over here, if you want a little bit more accuracy. But for now, I'm testing something, so I'm using this one. Okay, calibration is done, validated, great. So always run after your calibration a validation so you can see if everything went right. And now it's time for the workshop.
Conquer the night. If I can make it, if I try to draw the red light. I could run through the fire, I could conquer the night. If I can make it, if I try to draw the red.
Okay, set number one. It's a setup where we recreate a little bit of that Rembrandt lighting, you know, the triangle. So lighting more from the side and from the back, not from the front. At one point we used a strip light for an accent light, but at one point we changed that grid with a strip actually for a gel. And the cool thing about gel is that you not only work with a little bit more accent by the color, but it can also really spice up the shot and the mood of a shot. Now, adding gels, you have to be really careful. Do you want the gel to be the main attraction of the shot, like a few shots that we're going to do in later sets, or do you want the gel just to be a little bit of an accent? And in this case, we try to do something a little bit in between. So it's an accent, but I also just upped it just a little bit to give it a little bit of extra spice. And again, using gels is very, very creative, and you can get a lot of cool results. The lens I'm using today, by the way, is for most sets the Velvet 85 from Lens Baby. We got it in, I think, a week ago, and it didn't happen a lot, but sometimes you just fall in love with a product immediately the moment that you start using it. Now, with the Velvet 85, it wasn't an instant like, wow, I really like this, especially wide open. I still think it's a little bit too dreamy, but the cool thing is, as soon as you close down to 2.8 f4, you get this beautiful, beautiful results. If you look at the sides, it just blurs away a little bit and it just looks very, well, vintage. It's the best way to describe it. It's an awesome lens. Okay, let's go to set number 2. Set number 3, a little bit working with the Lensbaby Composer 80 and just working with a little bit of that tilt effect, and that means that you have one line that's razor sharp and the rest just blurs away. This works great for an old vintage black and white look. The final shot, well, that was a little bit like, okay, we have 15 minutes left, let's do something with 2 gels, red and blue from both sides. And the cool thing again about that Lensbaby, and I keep repeating it, it's just an awesome lens. What you can get is that really nice lens flare that you see in the images. It's like there are 2 spots and the light is just hitting them like a spotlight. It just looks amazing, and that's actually a bad thing for a lens because you don't want lens flare in a lens. Normally, in this case, it's actually one of the strong points from that lens. So actually, when you use a modern lens, it's very hard to get that lens flare. When you use an old vintage lens, you get those lens flare really easily. And the cool thing about that Lensbaby, it's a modern lens, but it's all those vintage characteristics, you know what I mean, right? It just looks vintage. It has all the demands from a vintage lens, and it's just awesome. Sorry, I'm not gonna repeat it again, but that Lensbaby Velvet 85, wow. Okay guys, that was it for today. I hope you enjoyed it. Tomorrow, Buurtspoorwegmuseum. It's a location workshop with old trains. See you again tomorrow. Bye guys.